Every time my billionaire husband cheated, he'd buy $1 million coffee. Every time my debt collector husband stayed overnight at his assistant's place, he'd order $1 million coffee from my shop. After 3 years of marriage, my account balance had reached $96 million. When he bought his 97th coffee, I received a screenshot from his assistant. I want Ms. Harper to deliver personally. Bring protection too. I didn't lose it. Instead, I personally delivered the coffee, thoughtfully including a couple's pack of condoms. Seeing how understanding I was, he rewarded me with an invitation to an elite gala. But when his assistant caught a business partner's eye, she smashed a wine bottle against her neck, swearing death over submission. Adrian, please don't give me to him. My usually composed husband panicked, red-eyed, begging me to entertain the partner instead. I promise it's just drinks, nothing more. After tonight, I'll focus on our marriage. Everyone waited for me to cause a scene, but I surprised them by agreeing. What he didn't know was this was the 97th time he'd hurt me. And I didn't want a future with him just to repay my billion-dollar debt. Then we'd be even. Chapter 1. Well. Coffee girl, your husband asks you to entertain clients and you actually do it? Still claiming it's not about money? No normal person would accept this from their husband. After agreeing to entertain, those social climbers who'd begged for partnerships with the Blackwell family circled me like vultures, their mockery relentless. What else? She's just collateral anyway. Did she really think a marriage certificate put her above Madison? She's just a leech sucking Adrian's blood. At least entertaining for Madison gives value to all that money Adrian spent on her. And through this chorus of venom, I watched Adrian cradle Madison in his arms, his expression tender as he soothed her, though his eyes occasionally swept over me, taking everything in. He knew Madison's suicide threat was just attention-seeking drama, yet he still indulged her. If you don't want to go, then don't. I'll handle it. But no more reckless stuntiery breaking my heart. His only concern was Madison's safety. He'd completely forgotten I was his wife. Forgotten that his rise from nothing to billions came from me kneeling before my father, begging for resources. Soon, Madison calmed under Adrian's comfort. I asked which private room, ready to fulfill my promise, but Madison stammered hesitantly. Only after Adrian's repeated assurances did she tearfully grab my hand, pretending reluctance. Mr. Chen loves art, wants me as his nude model. Could you do that too? Though I'm afraid you might refuse. Instantly, all eyes focused on me. But I only looked at Adrian. I'd already agreed to entertain, my dignity trampled. Did he really expect me to model nude for others' amusement? Seeing Madison's careful plea, Adrian's eyes filled with sympathy, his gaze burning into mine. Scarlett, Madison's health is fragile. You already agreed to drinks, it's just modeling. You'll agree, right? My heart sank. I'd almost forgotten Adrian always listened to Madison. After all, she was his first love. They'd have married if not for her family's interference. Now reunited, why would an imposter expect his mercy? Fighting tremors, I took a deep breath. Does this count as a 5-star review? 5-star review? The crowd laughed at my randomness, but Adrian frowned silently. He knew exactly what I meant. He didn't want to agree, but seeing Madison ready to kneel before me, he quickly decided. Yes. I smiled bitterly. Fine. I agree. 3 years ago, when I was still an heiress, I'd worked at a coffee shop for life experience and accidentally met Adrian. But overnight, my family went bankrupt. After my parents died, billion-dollar debts crushed me. Adrian appeared like a savior, bringing a billion-dollar dowry, clearing my debts. On our wedding night, after making love, I asked how to repay this kindness. His eyes soft on mine. Be my wife. I was confused. I already am your wife. His kisses rained down as he said casually. Then, do 99 things that earn my 5-star reviews, or let me hurt you 99 times. Then we're even. For 3 years, he treated me like precious jade. Until 2 months ago, when Madison returned from abroad. Everything changed. This was the 97th time. 2 more, and I'd repay my debt. In the partner's private room, smoke curled sensuously as couples intertwined. Their excited gazes fixed on me. Adrian suddenly hesitated, asking Madison. It's really just modeling? And nothing else. She hesitated. Adrian wanted to say more, but Madison pulled him out. Before leaving, he glanced at me, his expression unreadable. Wait. Before he could leave, the sleazy man called out, displeasure in his voice. Mr. Blackwell. I wanted Miss Madison. Throwing random replacements at me, have I offended you? The sleazy man's gaze swept between Adrian and me, finally landing on Madison, making her shiver. Madison glanced at Adrian's shocked expression, then spoke righteously. I heard Mr. Chen needs a nude model. Mrs. Blackwell has a nice figure perfect for your masterpiece. Mr. Chen, won't you try? She shoved me forward. Instantly, I was exposed to the sleazy man's lecherous examination. His wet, slimy gaze made my skin crawl. Only then did I realize Madison's nude modeling meant sleeping with him. I felt strangled, unable to breathe. I could only look desperately at Adrian. Adrian had been good to me before Madison appeared. Even now, I was still his wife, he couldn't just abandon me. But Adrian only showed brief anger before handing me a drink. Aren't you going to toast Mr. Chen? I fought the violent heaving in my chest, feet frozen in place. In my daze, Madison turned with a strange smile. Next moment, my body moved uncontrollably toward the sleazy man, spilling wine all Over him. I fell onto broken glass, arms instantly sliced with multiple cuts, face bleeding from scratches. Pain spread as I curled up, crying out. Madison screamed. Sister-in-law, if you didn't want to toast, just say so. No need to fake falling to anger Mr. Chen. At her words, the sleazy man exploded with rage. But Adrian's icy expression stopped him. He could only grit his teeth, wipe the wine, and storm out. In the room, Adrian's face was black as coal while I sighed with relief, trying to escape. I'd barely stumbled a few steps when he grabbed my arm. Adrian ignored my injuries, focused only on Madison's provocative words, coldly berating me. Scarlett Harper, I warned you to drop your schemes. Look what you've done. Can't you smile when entertaining? Have years of poverty made you forget your heiress etiquette? Forgotten high society rules? Don't you know one toast would have ended this? I instinctively clenched my fists, staring at Adrian. Through gritted teeth, but I'm your wife, and this Mr. Chen is just a small supplier dependent on you. My meaning was clear. If he'd just revealed my identity or refused, Chen wouldn't dare. He refused only to preserve Madison's petty vanity. Adrian's gaze flickered evasively under my stare. Before he could speak, Madison accused me first. Scarlett. How dare you speak to Adrian like that? Have you forgotten he bought you? Without him, you couldn't survive. Without his support, you'd be selling yourself somewhere. It's such a small thing. How dare you get angry at Adrian? Madison's words stabbed my heart repeatedly. My eyes reddened instantly. Adrian frowned, showing rare anger at Madison. Enough. This never happens again. Wait in the car. After Madison left, his eyes turned apologetic as he explained. That's just how she is. Don't take the buying and supporting comments to heart. Adrian glanced at my injured face, frowning. Your face is hurt. Go to the hospital yourself. I'll come home after I'm done tonight. He left without letting me speak. But he was right. I didn't need to take it to heart anymore. 2 more times, and I'd repay my debt. Then I wouldn't need his support. After the hospital, it was past midnight when I got home. He hadn't returned as promised, and I didn't ask like usual. Next day, his assistant delivered his compensation 2 black cards. One for making me entertain, another for the nude modeling attempt. I expressionlessly labeled them 96, 97, tossing them in the drawer. Looking at the drawer full of black cards, I knew freedom was near. After packing some belongings, I headed to the stables. Adrian had given me many things I didn't want. The only thing I'd take was my horse, Snow. My parents gave her to me for my 18th birthday. After bankruptcy, she was all I had left. Adrian hated animals but built a stable just for Snow. Seeing me come to feed her, the staff smiled. Ma'am, Mr. Blackwell is already feeding the horse. I paused. He was always thoughtful about small things, making me think he truly loved me. I approached expressionlessly, wanting to claim my last 2 5-star reviews. But when I reached the stable and saw the scene, my blood ran cold. Madison sat on Snow's back, whipping her head viciously as Snow neighed in pain. While Adrian watched with interest from the side. He knew Snow was my beloved horse. Yet he watched Madison beat her. I rushed forward, screaming. Stop. She's my horse. Don't hit her. Seeing my panic, Madison landed 2 more lashes before stopping. Oh, sister-in-law, I didn't know Snow was yours. Adrian said he had a particularly wild horse, brought me to play. I really love this horse. Could you sell her to me? Adrian approached, frowning at me. Why are you yelling? Don't you know Madison's mental state is fragile? There are other expensive horses here. Give Snow to Madison and pick any other. I stared at him in disbelief. Did you forget? This was my parents' last gift to me. Adrian paused. Just when I thought he'd tell Madison to dismount, he said, just once. I'll buy you better ones later, okay? Madison threw down the whip, tearfully stroking Snow's head. Adrian, since sister-in-law objects, forget it. It's my fault for coveting what's hers. Someone as lowly as me doesn't deserve such a fine horse. Don't make things difficult for her. This made Adrian's heart ache more. He insisted I give Snow to Madison. I looked at him in shock. Madison clearly knew Snow's importance to me, deliberately tormenting me. Yet Adrian just enabled her. I said nothing, moving to lead Snow away. But Adrian caught up, grabbing me. Just an animal. If Madison wants it, give it to her. I support Yotsant. I decide about your horse. Despite my refusal to sign, he forced my thumbprint on the sale agreement. Madison gloated. Sister-in-law, your horse is mine now. At that moment, Snow seemed to sense something, named desperately at me. Next second, Madison jabbed the whip into Snow's eye. My heart dropped. Snow. In pain, Snow bolted with Madison clinging to her back, screaming in terror. Adrian, save me. Adrian went pale with panic, grabbing a hunting rifle from storage, aiming at Snow's head. I desperately blocked the barrel, begging. Don't shoot. I can calm Snow, I can. Get out. Before I could finish, Adrian shoved me aside, aimed again, and pulled the trigger. Bang. The bullet pierced Snow's skull. The horse collapsed. Snow stopped breathing, and my heart felt punctured. I held her body, crying until numb. Through the haze, I heard Adrian and Madison talking. Adrian, about sister-in-law. Just an animal. As long as you're safe. Right, count this as her 5-star review. After all, there are dozens more to go. No, there weren't. Only one left. After cremating Snow, I returned home and took out my diary. Snow was my parents' last memento, dead because of my powerlessness. Maybe my parents were telling me from heaven it's over, nothing binds me anymore. Through tears, I wrote 98 at the end of the dense numbers. A shadow fell across my desk. I turned quickly to see Adrian's furrowed brow. His face dark, looking at my diary, unease creeping in. What does this 98 mean? Seeing him reach for the diary, I quickly closed it, stuffing it in the drawer. Nothing. He sensed my panic, seeming to realize something. You girls are so petty, always keeping grudge books. This is your revenge diary, right? He meant our honeymoon cruise when the ship departed while he wasn't paying attention, leaving me on shore. I caught a cold from 3 hours in the wind. Feverish, I'd mumbled. Adrian Blackwell, I hold grudges. Just wait, I'll curse you in my revenge diary. He'd laugh through tears, write whatever you want. I'll win you back. Knowing he'd misunderstood, I didn't explain, just agreed vaguely. The sweet memory seemed to ease his severity. He smiled. All right, I said I'd win you back, so no more grudges. Look at this. He handed me a tablet, embracing me from behind. Inside were hundreds of horses identical to Snow, with long price tags attached. I'm sad about Snow too, so I had people search. These all look like Snow, they can replace her by your side. Seeing the prices, the staff showed starry-eyed envy. But I threw away the tablet. No need. There's only one Snow, irreplaceable. Seeing I wasn't happy, he was surprised, pulling out another black card. Fine, keep the card. You only like money anyway. Matter closed. My pupils contracted sharply, bitter laughter filling my heart. What did he mean I only liked money? He'd done wrong and wanted to buy peace with cash. My cooperation became greed for money in his eyes. So he thought money could fix everything. I didn't take it. Adrian coldly threw the card in my face and stormed out. That night, he brought Madison home for the first time, making noise in the guest room until midnight. Unable to sleep from the noise, I simply took a cab to a hotel. Early morning, Adrian texted demanding I return to clean their sheets. After refusing, I expected him to smash his phone, but the next message appeared. I'll give you a 5-star review. I could predict the torment but still took a cab back. This was the last time afterward, I'd be completely free. Entering the house, finding no one, I went upstairs to find only Madison leaning against the guest room door. Hi, surprised it's just me. Before I could ask, she shoved me down the stairs. Dizzy and disoriented, I tumbled down. After several crashes, I lay at the bottom, head bleeding, body bruised. Weakly, I asked. Are you insane? Aren't you the insane one? You crazy bitch. Stole my position as Mrs. Blackwell. Adrian gave her everything, while I only had the empty title. Yet she still coveted it. Madison came downstairs, grinding her heel into my face. I've tried so hard, but Adrian won't divorce you. So I need you to take initiative. She crouched close. What if Adrian knew you tried to kill me? Would he stay with you? Fighting pain, swallowing blood, I sat up. I never planned to stay with him anyway. Madison laughed as if hearing a joke. Who are you kidding? Everyone knows you're a parasite on Adrian, living off him. Her phone lit up. She gave me a meaningful look. Then lightning fast, she pulled a knife from her pocket, stabbed her own thigh, and slashed her arms twice. Blood spurted as she pulled out the knife. She quickly threw the knife at me, crawling toward the door trailing blood. Next moment, the door opened. Adrian saw me and all the blood, his face draining of color. Scarlet. What happened? You're hurt. Let me take you to the hospital. He immediately moved to carry me. Madison grabbed his pant leg, deathly pale, peering from behind the door. Only then did Adrian notice her. But Madison's words changed his expression. Adrian, she said she'd kill me to avenge her horse. Please save me. I don't want to die. I was shocked by Madison's accusation, and Adrian kicked me without questioning, pain shooting through my body. Scarlet Harper, I spent all day yesterday trying to comfort you, and you dare revenge on Madison? Get over here and apologize on your knees, or wife or not, I won't show mercy. His crude acting any careful look would reveal the truth. Yet he took Madison's word as gospel, immediately judging me a murderer, not letting me explain. Meeting his furious gaze, knowing his bias, I didn't want to argue. Adrian, last time. My eyes dead, I grabbed the knife and stabbed my thigh 3 times. Adrian was shocked by my decisiveness, showing reluctance, inexplicably panicked as if his soul would be torn apart. He wanted to help me, but Madison suddenly wailed. Wah, sister-in-law severed my leg, Adrian save me, am I dying? Adrian snapped back, frantically carrying her to the hospital, hastily throwing me a black card. Spend whatever. Call an ambulance yourself. I'm taking Madison to the hospital first. We'll talk later. Watching him disappear, I called 911 myself and was taken by ambulance. When I was in the hospital bed, Madison sent a message. Adrian agreed to divorce you. Sad? Well, I'm pretty happy. But I wasn't sad. Leaving Adrian made me happy too. Then Adrian called. I've already apologized to Madison for you. I told her we're divorcing to appease her, but don't worry, it's fake. Just reminding you not to slip up when caring for Madison during recovery. He hung up without waiting for my response. After leaving the hospital, I organized all 99 black cards with my diary and divorce papers on the coffee table. On a sticky note, I left him one line. Debt repaid, favor returned. Adrian, let's divorce. With just my suitcase, I headed to the port and boarded a ship. My cursed fate with Adrian ended here. When I landed in Australia, exhausted, Adrian finally returned home. The living room blood was cleaned, looking the same as always. Somewhat dazed, he called out habitually. Honey, why didn't you leave the lights on for me? The empty mansion echoed no response. Frowning in confusion, he picked up my note. After reading the words, his pupils dilated instantly. Debt repaid, favor returned. Adrian, let's divorce. After reading repeatedly, Adrian's temples throbbed. He crumpled the photo, throwing it in the trash. Completely disbelieving, he scoffed. Playing these mindless tricks again, Scarlett Harper, you've got nerve. I'm exhausted from mediating with Madison for you. She's not pursuing charges, yet you're ungrateful, claiming you've repaid everything? Who are you scaring? I'll wait for your tantrum. Let's see you come crawling back when you're broke. After speaking, he noticed the diary on the table. Remembering me writing at my desk, he suddenly felt compelled to read it. Just as his hand touched the diary, his phone rang. Madison calling. Adrian answered gently. Madison, are you uncomfortable again? Why calling so late? Madison's voice was excited. Adrian, I'm pregnant. 2 weeks already. We're finally having a baby. Adrian froze. Hearing this news brought no joy, only furrowed brows and doubt. But I always used protection. Madison, are you sure it's not a false positive? Madison couldn't believe his questioning, sensing Adrian might not want this child. Her voice turned tearful. Adrian, you think I'm lying? I have the test results. Come to the hospital and see for yourself. If you really don't want this baby, I'll terminate immediately. After all, you have a wife. Why would you care about me and the baby? The same manipulative retreat. Adrian could never resist, quickly surrendering. I was just asking. Don't get upset. Stop crying. I'm coming to the hospital now. Hanging up, he headed out, glancing at the diary on the coffee table, pausing momentarily. Without thinking, he grabbed the diary and took it to the hospital. Entering the ward, Madison immediately threw herself into his arms, crying. Adrian, I know this baby is unexpected, will damage your marriage. I've already consulted about abortion. But the doctor says my uterine walls are thin. If I terminate, I can never be a mother again. Adrian, for all our years together, please let me keep the baby. It's my flesh and blood. I'll raise it alone, won't burden you. Madison's tears soaked Adrian's shirt. Looking at the woman who'd once passionately loved him, now so humbly pleading. Adrian's prepared arguments to convince her to abort stuck in his throat. Taking the test results, after long silence, he finally spoke. Given your special constitution and it being my child, how could I deny your right to motherhood? Keep the baby. Scarlett is reasonable. As long as it's my child, she'll care for it. Don't worry. Madison was stunned. She hadn't expected Adrian to want the child but give it to that bitch Scarlett to raise. Eyes red and swollen, she looked up unwillingly. Adrian, didn't you promise to divorce her? Adrian felt inexplicably irritated, creating distance between them, propping Madison against the pillows. She's throwing a tantrum about divorce, ran away from home. You know she's sensitive. Don't mention divorce again. If I divorced her, she couldn't survive alone. I promise to care for her forever, and I will. Madison, I'll give you anything you want, but Mrs. Blackwell can only be her. Understand? The more Madison heard, the more bitter she became. She could only agree superficially while clenching the sheets. She was insanely jealous. Why did trash like Scarlett get to hog Adrian's wife position? She was Adrian's first love, his true love, yet could only be the other woman without status. But hearing Scarlett had run away made her genuinely happy, hoping that bitch would never return. Better yet, die outside. Not noticing Madison's dark emotions beneath her mask, Adrian tucked her in. Sleep. I'll stay with you tonight. Seeing the man still doting on her excessively, Madison's heart gradually settled. As long as Adrian's heart remained hers. Watching Madison sleep absently, Adrian texted Scarlett. Where are you? At least tell me your location when running away. Don't make me worry. He thought Scarlett would respond like always, even during fights. But this time, the red exclamation mark showed he'd been blocked. Adrian nearly smashed his phone but held back, considering Madison in the ward. Craving nicotine, remembering the diary in his car, he decided to check it. Maybe find some clues. In the car. He opened the diary's first page, finding a passage. If I do 99 things earning Adrian's 5-star reviews, or he hurts me 99 times, the debt is repaid. But I hope to repay this debt forever. Just reading this, Adrian's hand lighting his cigarette trembled. He vaguely remembered Scarlett always asking for 5-star reviews these 3 years. He'd remembered the 99 favors to repay but forgotten the crucial second half of the promise. In his memory, surely many chances remained. Could he have hurt Scarlett 99 times in just over 2 years? Was Scarlett's diary really a grudge book against him? Adrian felt inexplicably panicked, even afraid to continue reading. But curiosity overwhelmed him. He had to know how he'd hurt Scarlett, so he read on. First hurt, Adrian left me at Victoria Harbour. Asshole, forgetting your own wife. Drawing circles to curse you. Third time, a beautiful manager joined his company. She's clearly his first love, but he pretends not to know her. 23rd time, lipstick mark on his shirt, Madison's again. I'm dying inside. 54th time, just discovered they slept together. He doesn't want me knowing about Madison, banned me from his office. 68th time, I'm just an empty Mrs. Blackwell now. His friends made me shine their shoes. He agreed. I'm used to it. 98th time, Madison killed my snow. He said. Just an animal, who cares? 99th time, Madison pushed me downstairs, injured herself, framed me for attempted murder. Adrian believed her. But I'm finally free. The diary recorded every incident clearly, even his and Madison's exact words. Like seeing through Scarlett's eyes, he experienced everything firsthand. Cigarette embers flickered in the car as Adrian read all night in the suffocating smoke. By dawn, his bloodshot eyes overflowed with sorrow, exhaustion, and endless agony and despair. Now he could empathize with Scarlett. But too late. He couldn't find Scarlett anymore. When Madison woke, she met Adrian's dark, cold, scrutinizing gaze. Startled, she forced a stiff smile, swallowing hard. Adrian. Did you not sleep all night? Adrian didn't respond, just stared as if seeing through her exterior to the vile darkness within. After long silence, Adrian asked hoarsely. Your leg injury, how did you really get it? Did Scarlett really stab you? Madison froze, licking her lips, eyes evasive. Adrian, what are you saying? We were alone in the mansion. If not her, then. You stabbed yourself, didn't you? Adrian finished her sentence. You want to be Mrs. Blackwell, wanted her gone, so you actually tried to kill her? Right? Madison shook her head frantically, tears welling. No, Adrian. Did she complain to you? She's slandering me. She tried to kill me and the baby. Adrian, believe me. Before, Madison's tears could make Adrian pluck stars from the sky. But today, this trick was useless. No matter how much snot covered her face, Adrian didn't spare her a glance. Speaking of the baby, Madison, look at this. Adrian placed an IVF agreement before her. Madison's face went white, fingers trembling holding the paper. This agreement showed Adrian's overnight investigation into Madison's IVF records. He'd never wanted Madison pregnant, always using protection, even adding contraceptives to her milk. Without deliberate action, pregnancy was impossible. Madison had saved his used condoms from the trash and underwent IVF at a clinic. Seeing the detailed IVF report, Madison trembled, ignoring her thigh wound's pain, quickly getting out of bed to kneel. Adrian, everything I did was because I love you. I'm insecure, afraid of losing you to someone else. I love you too much, I couldn't control myself. So you couldn't control framing and hurting my wife repeatedly? Adrian gripped her jaw, forcing eye contact. Adrian had survived years in business being ruthless, known as a madman. Madison had never seen him look at her like looking at a corpse, teeth chattering with fear. She could only apologize repeatedly, begging like a dog. Please Adrian, I was wrong. Don't make me abort. You can't do this to me. But ultimately, Adrian forced her onto the operating table for abortion. Madison barely rested before he threw her in a freezer overnight. Just released, he tossed her into a snake pit, letting serpents and insects tear and bite her. Despite Madison's screaming apologies, curses, and madness, Adrian remained calm on the surface while brutally tormenting her underneath, all to avenge Scarlett. Meanwhile, he bribed coffee shop employees, got Scarlett's location, and flew immediately to the Netherlands on his private jet. I was picking tulips on a farm when I locked eyes with Adrian. A month apart, he'd lost significant weight, bloodshot eyes with dark circles, looking like he'd been scavenging. Seeing me, his eyes sparked. He rushed toward me urgently. Before he got close, I smelled heavy alcohol come while hungover. Honey, I finally found you. I quickly stepped back, creating distance. Sir, we're divorced. Please stay away. The alcohol stench is overwhelming. My words froze him. I ran, leaving him standing in the wind. He blocked my cottage door, kneeling with roses to apologize. Scarlett, please don't be so cold. I truly know I was wrong. I just want to make amends. I read your entire diary. I've severely punished Madison for you. I kept the black cards, bought back the coffee shop. Please give me another chance. This time, no debts, no favors. I won't treat you as collateral. Please come home. After all our years together, you can't be so heartless to abandon me, right? His voice grew more choked until he was crying. I felt nothing, just shrugged. Oh, so you do remember our years together, Adrian? If you truly cared about our relationship, you wouldn't have repeatedly cheated during our marriage. If you truly cared about me, you wouldn't have used me as a bargaining chip, making me entertain and sleep with others. If you truly cared, you wouldn't have been biased, assuming I was a murderer. Adrian, if you truly cared, how could 99 chances be used up? I held back my anger. He looked struck by lightning, crawling forward on his knees. I was just temporarily confused, lost my way. But I never wanted divorce. I'm clear that my money is only for you, and Mrs. Blackwell can only be you. His red, swollen eyes looked fragile when crying. I used to fall for this, but now felt only disgust. I sneered, so I must accept your affairs? Adrian, I never told you I think you're too dirty. I can't stand it. I've repaid everything owed. We're even. Hope you can let go too. Don't make me look down on you. With those final words, I turned away. Adrian's roses fell to the ground. He didn't stop me. Just knelt there, slapping himself repeatedly, mumbling. I'm guilty, I'm dirty, I'm guilty, I'm dirty. The slapping sounds reached my room. Annoyed, I confronted him and slapped him hard. The crisp sound seemed to wake him completely. I frowned in disgust. If you're dirty, go die. Stop performing here. Get lost. Also, Madison likes roses. I hate them most. I kicked him out. He lingered briefly before finally leaving, never reappearing. The next news of Adrian came 2 weeks later. A coffee shop employee messaged that Adrian had committed suicide. His final will left all shares to me, so lawyers asked through her how to handle it. I was surprisingly calm. Not hearing Adrian's name for so long made it seem foreign. I answered casually, donate it. Do whatever. I don't want his money. The employee agreed and hung up. I sat on the hillside, watching distant windmills, painting on my canvas. I really saw the spinning windmills. And troubles had vanished. Life returned to peace. The end.